Ashley, we're down here at Bolton Boxing Club where you're going to start your pro journey.
That's right, yeah.
And this is where one of my first boxing experiences started, because I worked around the corner at a place called Kinder Ceilings. They used to sponsor this club, and you had a fantastic boxer who used to be a coach here, Darren McGarrett.
Top fighter, legend.
Absolutely. When young Ricky Hatton was coming along, people said, "What's Darren McGarrett like?" And he went, "Oh, he's like Ricky Hatton." Well, what's Ricky Hatton like?
Yeah.
He said he's like Darren McGarrett. So a little bit of a backhanded compliment there.
That's fire.
But I was fortunate to film you in the Northwest Regional Finals. Was it last year? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yes.
2022.
Yeah, you filmed the quarters, the semis, and the final.
Yeah, I did. So you fought in every round, and it was a great fight against a kid who was last year's previous champion in Patrick Hewlett.
Top fighter, good. It was
very
good
good fight.
Yeah.
But you held your own there, mate, and it was a really good fight, and it was close.
Yeah, definitely. I boxed him the year before, and he won the fight, and you know when you're getting beat when you're in the ring. But then obviously the year after I made loads of improvements, and it was a close fight going in there, so it was good.
But you didn't start your career at Balls, yeah? Because I was looking back, and I've been filming the amateur fights for about the last 10 years now, and I filmed a Northside show.
That's it.
And you were at Northside.
Yeah, I was at Northside.
You were fighting a kid from Everton Red Triangle. And another connection we have here, your old coach there was Paul Faulkner, who was my first coach.
Top coach.
Great guy, Mr. Wirehead. He's not quite as he's sort of like an afro head.
Yeah. He's got a better head than you though.
He's got hair full stop. He's still got it. He's showing off now, isn't he? In fact, he beat Johnny Nelson three times as an amateur.
He did. He was a top fighter, good coach as well. Learned loads from him. I started off at Bolton with Dave Langorn.
Oh, Dave! He was another one of my first coaches.
And Matt Tustin, and another guy called Dave Potter.
Oh right, yeah.
So I started with them, and then when I was about 12 or 13, I moved to Northside,
right,
and met Paul and Joe, and then just kind of went for there. Had loads of fights there. Was there for a few years. And
so
then,
a quick round up then. You've had about what 40 odd fights as an amateur.
Odd,
and you've done fairly well there, like 3/4.
Yeah, just probably just below,
Yeah, which is good. You know, I always say 50% record in the amateurs.
Well, I started off 50%, 50-50.
Yeah. Finished strong.
And that's it. Yeah. I mean, I lost my first 3 fights, and then just started going from there. Then really. But,
it's hard that when you do that, don't you?
That's it. But I was determined. I was coming.
I lost my first fight, and then I won my next 7.
Did you?
I'm quite happy about that.
That's it.
But so the reason why I'm down here is because you just signed with Steve Wood. When did you put pen to paper with Steve?
I think it was last month. I think, yeah. Last month, put pen to paper.
And what was the reason for that? What was we not want to do another year in the amateurs? Because you're still fairly young. What, you're 24?
24, yeah. Yeah, I could have stayed on in the amateurs. Like I say, back last 2 years as an amateur, I did really well. Boxed all the best kids in the country. Beat most of them, and you know the only kids I got beat off was GB top fighters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think probably professional boxing probably suits me a bit better, and just the right timing really.
How would you describe yourself? Because I was watching you today here, and you can hit, and but you're not just a pressure fighter like Darren was or like Danny Wright was. They were really good pressure fighter. You use your feet as well. You're quite a nice lot of movement.
Yeah. I'd say probably like a come forward counter puncher, like draw the counters out. I like to think a bit, move my feet. But yeah, I can do a bit of everything.
Yeah,
we'll
which
see.
is nice.
That's it.
Yeah. And I was looking at this place is renowned, especially with likes of Darren and Danny Wright, for those left hooks, and those left hooks to the body it's a nice little. Is that your little go-to shot?
Yeah, that's it.
Are we giving something away there?
You're giving too much away. You're giving my style away. No, yeah, like I said, to be honest, I'm ambidextrous, so.
I'd give you a right hand to be that.
Yeah, that's it. But no, I just I like throwing a left hook. It's a good shot.
Oh yeah. So do you do? I've not noticed you switch.
No, so. as an amateur, I used to switch quite a bit, and I've had fights where I boxed as a southpaw, but I just It depends who I'm fighting, really. It just depends how I feel in the ring. A lot of the time, yeah, just kind of stick to right-handing. And
because I was saying to you, I used to wait fighting southpaws, and you went, I love that.
Yeah,
so is that a reason why?
I think that's part of the reason. When I fight a southpaw, I kind of feel comfortable in there with them. Know everything, know what to do, kind of know the movements. But yeah.
And what are your aspirations then? You know, if I came speaking to you and we sat here talking, and it was like 6-7 years time, where would you like to be?
To be honest, I don't think that far ahead. I think one day at a time.
One fight at a time?
Yeah, one fight at a time, one day at a time, 1 second at a time. But I think, yeah, like I say, there's no point being in this boxing game if you don't want to be at the top. So when I go in the ring with anybody or when I'm training, I want to be the best at anything I do. I'm really competitive. So, but yeah, you got to take one fight at a time, I think. Yeah. All the fighters around me, like John, Jamie, Darren, they'd all say the same thing. You know what I mean? So just got to stay dedicated.
And do you think that's going to benefit you? Because Jamie, who's your coach who's been working with you on the pads today, he was an amateur here. Yeah. Johnny Case was an amateur here. Darren McGallett was a superstar here. Yeah. And they're all helping to put a little input into you. Yeah,
definitely. Top fighters, all of them. And like you say, it just fits well. Last few years as an amateur, you see the videos of me fighting when I'm in the ring. Everything that they shout, I do straight away. It just.
Do you find that easy to follow instruction?
Yeah, definitely. You just got to gel well with the people around you, haven't you? Mm-hmm. And like
get a good team behind.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've got a good team.
And are you a good thinker? If things are not going right and you're not perhaps getting the instructions that you say someone's in your corner who's not normally in there, but can you think for yourself? Because I wasn't a very good thinker, me. You know. Sometimes it take me a while to even realise there was a southpaw. Yeah. So, but can you get in there and suss someone out, or you feel like you can suss someone out?
That's my game. When I'm in the ring, I'm just thinking, and just like I say, drawing shots from them, fainting them, working them out type of thing. And then once I find my rhythm, get into a bit of a flow, that's when I find my feet.
What have we got now? I think you've been given a day, haven't you? Is that the 11th of March?
11th of March, yeah. In
Bolton. And that's good at Bolton, at the White's Hotel.
That's it, my hometown.
Because how did you manage to migrate down to this side of the water then?
Yeah, so
you're a Bolton boy.
That's it. So I grew up in Bolton, well, West Orton in Bolton, and then I moved to. So I left home when I was 16, and then I was obviously always training in Manchester, like North Side and what have you. And then I just ended up being around Manchester. So just always.
So where do you live now then?
I live in Prestwich.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not too far away from me. It's on up the road, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
About 10 minutes up the motorway, isn't it?
That's the one. Nice and easy. But yeah, so it's going to be good fighting it because I was Bolton Hundreds fan growing up, so
it's a brilliant value. It's one of my favourite places to work because I can see what's happening. While like sometimes if you're in the changing rooms and you're trying to do the interviews, you hear a cheer, you know all I have to do is look over my shoulder and I can see what's happening. Yeah. So it's a brilliant place to go and brilliant for someone. I don't care who you are, there's a lot of pressure on you when you're making your debut.
Yeah, of course.
And stuck in a changing room, dwelling on the fact of what you're going to do in the next half hour or an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, however long you have to wait before you get your chance to shine, can be quite daunting. Yeah. But when you're watching everything that's happening, suddenly before you know it, it's just happening. And,
that's it.
And
you're in there, you're in the moment, aren't you? You're not thinking about anything else. No, I'm excited, it's going to be good. Like I say, when I was a kid, where my house was, it was like 4 miles away from, like 3.5 miles away from the Reebok. So my run was running, touching the Reebok and run back home. And when you're running, you know what you're thinking about when you're running, don't you? So you're just thinking about your fight.
When's it finished?
Yeah, yeah, you're thinking about when your fight is and all that kind of stuff. So it's class. Boxing there. All my people are going to be there. It's going to be great.
And how's that go? Because we know it's a terrible thing to say, but no matter how talented you are, boxing is getting more of a popularity sport. So have you got a good fan base?
Yeah, I'm lucky. I've got great people around me and a lot of support, and yeah, it's good. It's a lot of people wanting me to do well, so blessed. It's good.
Yeah, well, listen, I would like to say I was fortunate to film your campaign in the last national championships, and I really enjoyed it, and you stood out a little bit to me, mate. So
thank you, appreciate that.
that puts a little bit of pressure on you, because I've now got quite I've got quite high expectations, mate. So.
Yeah, well, you know what they say, pressure makes diamonds. So we'll see.
Well, listen,
I'm excited.
That pressure's going to start on March 11th down at Bolton. I'll be catching up with you nearer the time.
Yeah,
hopefully we'll have an opponent.
Yeah, definitely.
And we can chat a little bit more and see how preparations have gone.
That's it.
But it looks like Christmas, you've been a good boy, because it looks like you could step through the ropes tomorrow.
That's it. You know what? It's one of them. Like I always kind of stay in shape. I'm always training and eating fairly well. I mean, I've had a few celebrations this Christmas. I'm not going to lie, but no. Like I say, when next few weeks it's going to kick in, and I'm looking forward to it. I've
not even spoken. I mean, you are going to be a welterweight, aren't you?
Welterweight, yeah.
And you know, one of those things is when you look at a fighter, and you know, I look at you and I think you're going to be a big lad for a welterweight.
Yeah. I mean, they all said that when I was an amateur, 67 kilos. But yeah, like I say, I make the weight really well.
But I remember when I filmed you when you were fighting for Northside on their home show, which was, you would have only been 16 or 17.
Yeah.
You didn't look small then. So did you grow very as a young kid? Did you grow quick?
Do you know what, Lee? I was about 2'5" till I was about 15, and then all of a sudden I sprouted up. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk. Yeah, just didn't stop growing. But yeah, in about 6 months I must have grew about 6'4". But no, yeah, just back when I was about 15, 16, I kind of grew a bit, and I was always a bit of a tall, rangy fighter. And obviously when because I had a few years off, and then I came back, and I was kind of just.
When you had that break, you came back here though, didn't you? This is where you resumed your career.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, came back here.
So this is definitely your home then, isn't it?
100%. Yeah, definitely. I've had about 15, 16 fights here, and yeah, I've been here ever since.
Well, I'm really looking forward to March 11th. Steve's got a load of shows penciled in. And I think we've got another kid making. I know he's making his debut the week afterwards, but it's always good debuts because you've always been a great crowd.
That's it.
So
yeah.
Hopefully you'll give him something to cheer.
There's going to be a lot of people there. I'm looking forward to it.
And I'll be speaking to you afterwards and be saying 1-0.
Hopefully, yeah, that's it. I'm looking forward to it.
Ashley, you take care, mate.
Nice one,
See
mate.
you soon.
For all boxing info, news, and latest interviews, amateur and pro across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.